Liana. Welcome to the Against the Grain podcast. I'm with Maddie,
Lily.
and today we're going to be talking about trusting God. So this topic it was kind of last minute, but we all went to Guatemala together, and it kind of really stood out. So yeah, I'm going to start with a question. So when was the time when you trusted God?
I think a big part of my testimony is with all my scoliosis and my surgery and everything, since I prayed all throughout middle school that I wouldn't have to end up having surgery, and in 8th grade I found that I actually did, and I thought that was the end of my life. I was missing my whole summer, graduation, all of that, but learning to trust God through that was such a process, and I could really feel him just working in my heart through that. And I definitely wouldn't be the same, or I wouldn't be where I am in my faith today if that didn't happen.
Yeah. For me, I haven't had anything crazy happen to me, but it's just the small things Pastor kind of said before, don't get bored or else there's a chance that you could fall into sin, and that's been really important in my life, taking a step back, remembering just where my faith is, because there's been times in my life where I'm just oh, I don't feel like it. So learning to walk by faith, not sight, because when you don't feel his presence, you feel you can't see where he's working, it's kind of oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I learned that at Winter Peak. I was praying, and I was humbly. I was God, speak to me. I just want to hear something. And it took me a couple months to learn that I was just kind of talking at him. I wasn't really listening, or just wanted to hear something that I wanted to hear, which isn't what's happening. So trusting him was important for me for that.
Yeah. For me in Guatemala, I kind of talked about this in the other podcast, but during one of the services, they were like, what's something that you can give to God? And I was like, I've given things to him. God, what should I give? And I realized that I was kind of nervous that he wasn't going to work in my life. And I realized I wasn't putting my trust in him, and that he would move. And so I gave that to him. And once I was able to put my trust in him and just relax and not strive for his presence, he showed up, and we can all agree that he was there. And so just trusting him that he's never going to leave us or forsake us. So
Yeah. And in any other normal relationship here on earth, if you don't have trust in a friendship, you have nothing. So I think that definitely applies to God as well.
Yeah, it's such a hollow life. If you're not trusting anyone, to live in fullness, you have to trust him.
Yeah.
Here's another question. How has trusting God changed the way you see your everyday life?
Just knowing that he has a plan already fully just known for me. Do you want to read this verse? Okay, so Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So just knowing that whatever comes your way throughout your life, or just every day too, just knowing that it's all planned out for you and for your own good, and not to harm you at all. No matter how much it might hurt, it's all in his plan.
The verse that says that he'll give us the peace that surpasses all understanding, it's we read verses and we're like, oh, that sounds pretty or something. We don't really get it. And it's so cool because sometimes I'm like, wow, he can actually give us a peace that surpasses all understanding. And so when you go into a day where it's hard or you're tired, if you just trust that his word is true, he will actually give you peace that you don't even understand, which is really
Yeah. And trust is such a big concept. We've been talking about Guatemala, which is a very big trip for us, but even trusting God with the small stuff, doing something that you think is insignificant, God still wants you to trust him throughout the small stuff.
Yeah, I love how God cares about how you do on a test. It's not the big go out and tell people about God. That's what he cares about. It's yeah, I see that you want to do well on this thing. I'm hearing that.
Yeah, when I was little, I would talk to my dad and be like, yeah, I feel like I don't know what to pray for because there's nothing big happening in my life. And he's like, well, God cares about everything you care about. And he takes that to heart, and he wants to hear you.
Yeah. Something you're talking about in a small group is God doesn't like we feel like God doesn't care about the small stuff. Like if I get in an argument, God's not going to go out of his way. It's like, talk to me about what I should do to fix it, because it's not that important. But God does care. He cares about our relationships, cares about how you feel. We have feelings for a reason. So trust him.
Yeah. And it's not always easy to trust in him. I feel like I'm still kind of working on not like falling back and leaning on my own understanding, because it's just so easy to like get back into that. And things can be so much easier than we make it when we put our trust in him.
Yeah. Just being humble about it.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want to go to like talk about this. Before we go out of mom, so my sister was going to go and I wasn't. My parents were like, we can't afford that for both of you to go. And then my sister got off. My parents were like, oh, well, I guess you can do this. And I was like, okay, well now I need money. So we worked together. With a cleaning company, and it was like, it wasn't just thing. Like me and Liana got so much closer. Like I felt like it like set up the trip where I knew I'd have Lily too. Like how Leon is like Leon. Like I didn't even think I could go, but before I even went, God was still building stuff. He was preparing the trip. Like what you said, like thinking God wasn't gonna work. Like he was preparing it before I even knew that I was going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's so fun to see, like look back and be like, whoa, God was all over that. You know, like sometimes we can just miss it. And when we have the trust that he's always there, like it's so cool that he actually will show up, you know?
And it's like important to step back for a minute, being like, okay, like, God, how can I trust you? If you feel like if you don't see him working the way, you just need to and look at your life. It's like, where can I trust him more? Where am I not trusting him enough? Where have I trusted him and see the growth of it?
Yeah, I love like just looking back on like my life and like seeing like where I have been and where I am now, and just seeing like how like the difference like from when I put my trust in him and when I put my trust in things of the world. There's like a big difference.
Especially, I remember, so Lily and I were friends, and I was like, you should just join the worship team. And like, it took her so long, like, to see her confidence grow, because we were talking about it one day, and you were like, I feel like I'm called to join the worship team. And I was like, do it. But it took trust to join and took confidence. But then she's running it, like, now is one of a very big leader at our church. That we would be very different without her. So trusting God, because he does need you. Well, he doesn't. He has a purpose for you. He has a purpose for you and a purpose for the kingdom through you. So if you're ignoring that, you're ignoring a big calling that he has for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I struggle with like confidence and being myself in places where I feel kind of uncomfortable. And it used to always feel like, oh, it's just something that I have to deal with and I have to get over. But I'm still learning, but I'm realizing that like God cares about that too. Like he cares about the small insecurities, and yeah, it's fun to just have someone to always talk to and ask your questions.
Yeah. That's how it feels sometimes, though, because, like, this is just part of my personality. Like, God can't change it. It's because it's just ingrained in who I am. But that's not how we're supposed to be.
Or even just like to like genetics even. Like
Right.
sometimes I feel like I am this way because my parents are this way, but like I have the ability to like talk to God and change that and like change who I am. Like it's not set in stone just because like my parents are like this.
And like when you're like, God, like can you give me an opportunity to like be myself in a situation? He like does it.
Yeah.
It's so fun to it's just so fun. Like sometimes I'm like, they're like, yeah, ask God. He would tell me, ask God about it. I'm like,
Sometimes that annoys me. Stop.
Like what do you mean, ask God? Like what? But when you do, it's like he's gonna answer you.
There was one time a couple years ago, the worship team. It was like kind of a little bit smaller at the time. We're like, we just need God to like build our team, build a youth group, and just like build a community. And for like the whole summer, we texted like every night. It was like, everyone pray. Like we had a certain time. I think it was like 9:30 or something.
Yeah.
And we all just prayed for the trajectory of the youth group, and like it worked. It took time, but it definitely worked. But like pray with purpose is very important to me, because you can talk at God, but he wants to talk to you back. He wants to listen. He wants to have a conversation. It's not just like a one like Well, he wants to hear about everything, but we should also listen.
To like leave room for like him to actually like speak into your life, and you can like apply that to wherever you need it.
Yeah.
And even just like trusting that he's listening to you. Like when he's quiet or like you don't hear him, just to trust that like he's there listening, like in your room, in school.
Sometimes I feel like there's like random times where I'm like mid-prayer and I'm like, what am I even doing? Like you do have to think back at the times where you've seen God provide in your life. Like I'm always gonna go back to Guatemala. Like that trip was like, I feel like it was so eye-opening to me. I remember after we built the house, so me and Liana worked in construction. We built this little house for one of the families, and then we sang "Goodness of God," and then people that spoke Spanish, and then people that spoke English spoke English. Like it was
crazy.
it was so crazy to me, like that I was in a different country and that I just built a house. Now I'm seeing like how God's good to me, like with people that I don't understand, but I can still like see how He's moving. And like that was one of the biggest like moments that I've trusted Him. I think it's like I don't trust isn't a feeling, but like when you can feel it, you can feel it. So like being able to talk to people about that, being like, hey, everyone gets slide to the summer, and then tell them about it. It was like he didn't just stop his work at Guatemala either.
Right.
Like it's a whole big thing.
Yeah.
Like even if we don't like see it, like what's happening back in Guatemala, like we like know that he's still like working in them and working through them and like through next at Roasteries and that too. Yeah, obviously, because that trip like changed my life, and I don't know if we speak for everybody else. All that was in that trip, it was definitely life changing.
Well, a couple weeks ago, so I posted it on my Instagram, and one came up to me that I'm like not friends with, and he was like, "Did you go to Guatemala?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, I went like on a mission trip with my church," and I started telling him about it. And I don't think he's Christian, but it was like, oh my gosh, like, he saw that.
Yeah. And God probably knew that he would see that.
Yeah.
And like even though he wasn't in Guatemala, like, it's still what we did still reached him. Which is really cool. Yeah. Is it ever hard to trust God? And when it is, how can you overcome that?
Yes. Yeah, it is. Cause it sometimes feel like you don't want to do stuff that God wants you to do, and it's like I don't like respectfully. It's like I don't feel like I care enough to trust right now. Like there's stuff that I would just rather do on my own understanding, and there's stuff that I'd rather just do because I want to. And then it just comes to a point where it's not like you don't want to anymore, so you just like forget about it. So something I feel like I have to do to like reel myself back in is like I have to talk to people. Like even here like our community, it's like okay, I just need to get this out and have someone talk to me about it because I know I'm around good people that can tell me like okay, so you're in a spot where you need to communicate to God more, you need to talk to Him more, and then just like tell me how to, which is something that's important because I don't like when I talk to people and they just don't tell me what to do. I'm like, okay, it's I feel like I just talked at you.
Yeah.
So community is so important for me because even if I am just talking to God, if I feel like I don't hear a response, then community is my next step because I know someone to tell me.
And God can talk through someone, which is also cool. Like he can get to us in any way he wants to. And sometimes he talks to people. Like when I was at fall weekend, I told Nicole about how like it's really hard at school and things have been really difficult and it was hard for me to trust God. Like like what's happening, God? I've been talking to him. And I told her and she gave me a vision that she had that God gave her. And it was like a tree that was losing its leaves, but its roots were still deep and like rooted in him. So it like spoke to me, and yeah, it's just cool how he can talk through everyone.
Yeah. For me, it's like definitely hardest to trust God when I feel like I can't see him working or moving in my life. But sometimes you just have to remember, like, even when you can't see it or feel it, he's still there. He's still like no matter what, he's still like behind you. Like he still has his hand on your shoulder. Like no matter what, even if like you can't feel him there.
Walking by faith and not sight.
Yeah. Like I know I can trust you guys even if I'm not with you because I see you like twice a week. But like that also applies to God. Like you should still trust him even if you feel like you're not with him.
Yeah.
I feel like it really helps to just go to scripture because everything that's in there, it's from God. Like it's very true. It's very you can apply it to your life. It's never gonna change. And so even when you don't see him working, like just reading the Bible is seeing him working, you know? And like I said this before, but sometimes I just forget that what he says in the Bible is true. And like when you apply it to your life, it's crazy. So it's like, wow, God, like you're really talking to me. You don't think?
I feel like the big thing is like pray over your gifts. If you want to trust in God, ask him like where he wants to use you. Because I play guitar, and it's like I went to Colorado on a mission trip when I was a 5th grade going to 6th grade, and I was the youngest on the trip, and everyone else was older. But then the older kids like were all in the worship team. They started doing spontaneous worship, and that was like the first time I was ever able to actually like ever worship. Like I remember like the first time like going on my knees worshiping, and I was like, this is it, bro. This is my life. Like from now on, I'm doing this. So that fall of 6th grade, I started guitar, and then like literally in winter, I was not good. I started playing guitar. I was like, I want to play guitar for the worship team, and our lead pastor was like, okay, I guess. That was not good at first, but like my heart was in a place where it's like I just want to worship God. Like I saw it happen in Colorado, and I wanted to do that. And then like I do think that God gave me a gift too. And like it's like so cool to be like, since my heart was in the right posture, like God blessed me with that, and I was able to bless other people through it.
Yeah.
So pray over your gifts. Like if you want to trust God more, then ask him where.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of times before like worship or just like before Sunday or Wednesday, I like ask God, I'm like, God, you use me like where you want me, like speak through me, like to actually speak to like a kid, like whatever like they're struggling with, like put that like in my mind so I can like, you know what I mean?
Really something specific, because I feel I need something specific to be spoken to. If like someone's just like talking about something very broad, I'm like, I feel like I'm just like missing. But if someone like specifically says something that speaks to me, and that's where you need to trust in God. Like if God's telling you to specifically tell something to someone, you need to trust that, because that's so much more important than something broad. But then it's like scared, like, oh wait, what if it isn't right? What if God's like telling me to pray for this person about this thing, and I'm like not right about it, and then it's awkward. But that's where you need to trust him, because the specific stuff is very.
And like laying your desires down and like trusting him that what he has for you is so much better than anything that you could ever do by yourself.
Going off of what you just said, Maddie, in Guatemala, I was like, we were like sitting on the roof, like the roof was best, but I was like, I had all these like thoughts popping into my head. I was like, oh, I should probably go talk to like one of my friends who I didn't really talk to him for like a really long time, but I was like, I feel like I should go like ask him like genuinely like, how are you doing? Like, how are you walking in your faith? And I was like, oh, this is like stupid. Like, this is probably just me like being like, just like my conscience like talking to me. And I was like, I don't think this is you, God. I'm just gonna disregard it. Then I was like, I kept thinking about it for like a really long time. And I was like, God, if this song plays next, then I will go talk to him. And then I skipped the song, and then that song played. So, on my shuffled worship playlist, to be fair. So, I was like, I think just like, that was like a lesson to me. Like, I should always just trust God, like, on like my first, like, and not like instinct, but like, when you hear it, I feel like you just know. And you shouldn't be like, don't do what I said and be like, if you play this song, like, you know.
Something for me that I used to struggle with a lot was like saying it's my intuition, not God speaking to me. Like always like my intuition, like I know this. I know this because I know it. Like it's just a feeling, and I'm like, no, I have to learn that. Like I can't take that for myself. Like it's not something that I just magically know. It's like something God was speaking to me. Not getting my intuition confused with it, because that's not what's going on.
And something you could do if you're struggling with trusting God is just asking him like, show me show me your voice, teach me your voice, and show me where I need to trust you more. You know, like just yeah, just asking him. I know we said it's hard to ask him things, but also trusting him that he'll answer.
I feel like a lot of people I talk to, like, I just don't know what God sounds like. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like part of the walk. That's part of the faith.
Yeah.
Like getting to know him. It's not like
Growing in him.
he doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't just want to know you. He wants you to know him.
Right.
It's just learning because it's not supposed to be like a burden thing. It's not supposed to be, oh, I don't know what God says. Now I have to deal with not knowing what he says and like have to like try to read him but not understand because I don't know what he sounds like. It's like just give space for your Bible and ask God to highlight something for you. And that's all it needs to start off with. Just like my intuition is telling me that this Bible verse is important. No, that's God speaking to you over a Bible verse. That's not like a small thing that's insignificant. That's important.
Yeah. And he comes when you aren't striving. Like when you aren't trying really hard, like, oh my goodness, I need to hear him, I need to hear him. He comes when you're like, I'm here, God, like speak to me. And that's when he moves, and when you're not like stressing out about it. Like he's not that type of God. Like he gives you peace. He wants you to hear him, so he's going to. Like it's not like he's gonna hide his voice from you, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode with us. Love you guys.